What a tremendous storyteller Jesus was. And I admire that because I love to tell stories. I'm a storyteller. You've been listening to me long enough. You know I like to tell stories. I tell a lot of stories. But to be able to weave a story like Jesus did and use words that were often very short sentences, but yet they said so much. And they were just powerful in the way that he described this young man that we call the prodigal, the one who told his father, he says, I'm ready to go. I'm tired of living under your rules. I want my inheritance. I'm going to go do what I feel like that I want to do, and I am not going to live under your rules anymore. And I'm interjecting all of that. Jesus really doesn't say that. But he says that there is contention between the father and this young man. And he says, verse 13 of Luke chapter 15, and not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. That says so little, but yet it says so much. And he gives a lot of room here for the imagination to step in. Because riotous living, what is riotous living? Well, because Jesus made the story up, it's pretty much whatever you imagined it was. Now, the older brother, later when we interject him in the story, he talks about that he went out and he squandered his substance on all kinds of carnal things. But the truth of the matter is that when it was all said and done, the money ran out. And then something else it says here. And again, we're realizing that God ultimately is the hero of the story because the Father is the hero of the story. But it says that a famine came into the land. And it was a tremendous famine that took place, and it caused the land to be struggling. Let's put it that way. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in the land, and he began to be in want. You know what that's called? That's called life. Life is that way. Life can be cruel, and it can turn on you in an instant. And you turn around, and the next thing you know, you got a famine. And the problem is that when people have been unwise in their choices, and they have not made any preparation, they're not prepared for a famine. This young man was not prepared for a famine, even though he left his father's house with a fortune in his pocket. Now he's broke and he's desperate, and he's living through a famine. But you see, I would not be a bit surprised if God were to say to us, well, you know, that was all by design. Because sometimes God does have to squeeze us to cause us to come to the end of ourselves. This is Pastor Jack King with a gospel on the radio broadcast.